Hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to our today's webinar, Contributors to Successful Email Marketing Campaigns. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. My name is Smita and I'm working with Niche Software Solutions as a marketing manager, and I handle the marketing of our email marketing tool called Juvlon. So before we begin our today's session, I have few housekeeping announcements to make. Please note that our session is being recorded and will make the link available with everyone after the session. We have kept everyone on mute to ensure that any background noise and conversations are kept private. To ask the questions, please make use of the question box on your GoToWebinar window. Write your comments, questions, and anything that you want us to see in this question box. After the presentation, we'll try to attend your questions. Friends, that's all about the housekeeping stuff. I'll quickly run you through today's agenda. So today we'll see what all are the contributors to our successful email campaigns. We will also see how do we measure that email campaign is really successful. Few tips about do's and don'ts of email marketing, followed by questions and answers. I would again like to check with my new friends who have joined that I'm audible and everyone is able to hear me loud and clear. Thanks a lot, everyone. Okay, friends, let's get started with the basics of what is email marketing. I read this earlier and I thought of sharing this with all of us. Delivering professional email communications to the relevant and targeted audience. And the email communication that we are having should contain the useful and relevant content to your audience. That means you should be sending out the content that is really useful and the one that is used as professional emails. So nothing something like what we keep on sending to our friends. So this is what is email marketing. Just to set the background and the stage for today's webinar, I have collected some statistics that will help us understand how various components contribute to the success of email marketing. So as we all can see that give me a minute, I'll just hide this window for a second. Yeah. Okay. We all know that we support opt-in database and email marketing gets better result and good output when it is an opt-in list. So according to Salesforce, 95% of those who opt in into email messages from the brands or any other organization for that matter, I'll say, we say that yes, the receivers find these kind of messages really very useful. So they do read these emails that are sent out because they have opted for it. Subject lines, we have read a lot about this. We've done lots of blogs on this. We've done webinars also on this. And we all as marketers have experienced this, that emails, that the subject lines of any email will help us increase the open rates. So according to convinceandconvert.com, 35% of email recipients open email based on subject lines alone. We've also talked a lot about personalization in the emails. Personalization not only means having your names added in the emails, your subscribers' names in the emails, but we also know there are lots of other fields that can be personalized. So we've also talked about it on our earlier webinars about personalization and how Juvlon helps in personalization. So according to Aberdeen, personalized emails improve click-through rates by 14% and conversion rates by 10%. Companies that use email list segmentation, we'll see how to segment the list and how to separate our database and make the most use of this in our upcoming slides. But according to Lerus annual email optimizer report, what their study says that companies that use email list segmentation see 39% of higher open rates and 28% of lower unsubscribed rates. So that's really very useful information, and we'll see how to actually segment the list. And definitely, the company or the organization from which you have been receiving the email and the subject line definitely makes a huge difference. So this is about the email marketing statistics. We'll get started with our first segment, that is contributors to email success. The first main contributor is subject lines. We have been talking about it, as I've said, and I've always been insisting that we should always be investing a good amount of time in crafting really good subject lines. We've done blogs on this. There are a couple of blogs that you'll find on our Juvlon blog about how to create the killer subject lines and what steps should you take for this. In this webinar, again, I would like to cover a few quick tips that might be useful for you to help you understand how to create the catchy subject lines. First and foremost is know your audience. You should know whom you are sending this email to. What is their interest? What would they like to hear from you? And what kind of subject lines will entice them to open your email? So always take some time to understand your audience, learn from where they have come and what they might like, and what kind of subject lines would they appreciate. So you should understand and know your audience while crafting your subject lines. Second one is the relevance, that is get to the point. In fact, for this, I would suggest that ask yourself a question: what kind of email would you like to read? What is the kind of subject line that will make you feel that yes, you should click on this and open the email and start reading it? So get to the point rather than just unnecessarily stretching over in the subject line. You've got the email content part to talk about it over there. So be relevant and get to the point. Create the sense of urgency. You might have seen the webinar reminders that I keep on sending. It's like basically webinar tomorrow or register today, webinar today. So these kind of subject lines basically create the sense of urgency. They show that okay, there's something where I've got the deadline to attend to. So create that sense of urgency. Like you can see in this picture, it's now or later. So you have to have that now thing in your subject lines. But at the same time, remember that don't overuse such phrases. For example, we've always seen that there are mails that keep coming which talk about avail the offer, hurry up, the deal closes soon, the deal is only for today. So don't use such kind of phrases and don't use it repetitively. And I'm sure that the receivers might get irritated and they just might not read your emails at all. So know your audience, get to the point, create the sense of urgency, and at the same time, don't overuse such phrases. Let's move to the second point. It's building a powerful list. Yes, email marketing cannot be done without your database. So this is again one of the important, or rather I'll say a vital part of your contributor to make your email marketing successful. Here are some options that will help you grow your database. Opt-in forms on website. No matter whatever service or product you're offering to your audience, see to it that you have opt-in forms on your website. It could be a free trial, it could be registration for the event, it could be download the white paper or the ebook, it could be subscription for your newsletter, it could be anything for that matter. Remember, when somebody is already filling in the form, they are sharing their details, their credentials with you, so that they are interested in communicating with you. They have shown interest and readily accept your email marketing. So have opt-in forms on your website. Next is sending emails to third party. By this, I mean, give me a minute. I just got to know that someone is not able to hear me. Neha, would you please let me know, am I audible? Are you able to hear me? Is everyone able to hear me? Okay, thanks, Vinny. That was helpful. Cool. We'll continue. So, sending emails to third party. By this I mean vendor marketing. That is making use of portals where your target audience might have signed up. Like, let me give you an example. For in my case, I know my audience who all are the digital marketers or marketing managers, and I know the places where they might have signed up. Like, for example, it could be Trade Brief, it could be Marketing Proof, it could be any of those kind of portals where they have signed up. So make a contract with these vendors, sign up with them, and send out your promotional emails to these kind of portals and vendors. This will definitely help you in growing your list, definitely. And I'm sure you'll be able to get a larger and the newer audience for you, promoting your services, your product, your promotional emails that you have for this. So opt-in list on forms, sending emails to third party, and then as the organizing events. It could be offline events, it could be online events, it could be something like webinars, it could be something like online seminars, it could be participating in different conferences, it could be probably organizing some small events at your end. So organizing events where your target audience will show up, something that is of their interest, and they will sign up and show up themselves for such kind of events. So organize events. This also helps you in getting a better engaged audience for your database. Then is the social media. We know, we all agree probably that as email marketing is really important and has grown to be a matured channel for marketing the products. Same as the case with social media. By now, it's also a matured platform for all of us to help us promote our products, services, and businesses that we own. So make use of social media, make complete use of social media. You can post your discussions, your comments, your thoughts on various groups on LinkedIn. You could tweet about your new thoughts, your new blog on Twitter. You could use Facebook to promote your events. So everything, Google Plus is growing really very strong. So go ahead and make use of social media. Use it wisely, use it thoroughly. This is going to give you the better result and most visible efforts, more visible list will be growing in this. People will be understanding the way you are growing in the community also. So all these options that we have seen, opt-in forms or sending emails to third party, organizing events or social media, are organic ways. There could be many more. I would just like to draw attention to one of the inorganic way, that is source a good database. I know at one point of our function we feel the need of using or acquiring the list from third party. I would suggest that you can rent the email list from legitimate and good providers. Remember, they have to be legitimate and good providers. For this, Team Juvlon has recently launched a new service called Prime Network, which helps to establish a relation between publishers and the advertisers. Publishers are the ones who wish to rent their list and earn revenue from their list. And advertisers are the ones who wish to use these lists to promote their business. So while we are talking about this, we are also preparing ourselves for our next upcoming webinar where we'll be talking about the ways to grow your list, and we'll definitely be talking in details about the Prime Network and how you can make use of this Prime Network to grow your database by sourcing a good database from good publishers. Let's move to the next important part, that's segmenting the data list. We've seen earlier that how this definitely helps in sending out the relevant emails. So by segmenting the list, you can send relevant emails to the list, and let's see how to segment the list. It's a very important question, and basically we've always been wondering that, okay, I've got this huge list of people, those who have opted or they've shown interest in my product, but now I don't know how to segment this. So I've just collected few tips that might help you in segmenting the data list. So it's based on your consumer's preference. Possibly you are having different range of products that you are offering. So based on what the consumer prefers, prepare these lists separately. I'm sure you'll be able to understand, since these are your consumers, these are your customers, I'm sure you'll be definitely be able to segregate them separately. A second is based on your consumers preferences. It could be possible that they have probably there are people subscribers choice. Basically it's basically it could be possible that your subscribers are interested only in your blogs and not in your products right now. So don't keep on sending them information about your products or offer about your products too frequently. It could be once in a while, that's still tolerable. So segregate your subscribers accordingly based on whatever they have selected. Then is the most important is readers' interest. Whatever your receivers have been reading, whatever they have been showing keen interest in, just keep sending them the same thing and separate them from the other subscribers also. The last tip that I would like to share is based on the options of your receivers, based on the options that they have clicked in your emails, the way they have responded. You can again create such lists that will help you in better targeting techniques for such unique receivers. So keep them separate. You can see in this last image there are a couple of youngsters. There are few those who are just interested in listening to music. There are others who would just like to read. So you can have these kind of subscribers, your database segmented, and use them wisely. I again am getting the comment that people are not able to hear me. I'm so sorry in case if there's some technical error. Anand, please do let me know. Are you able to hear me? I'm sorry, I would again like everyone to please respond if I'm audible. Gautam, thanks. That was helpful. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll continue. We'll move to the next segment, that is email templates. So now you have got your subject line in place, you've got your database in place. The next important thing is email templates, the email design that you have to create for this. Again, over here, I would like to take a moment and just sit back and think, ask a question to yourself, the kind of email templates that you will like. See to it that you create the templates that you yourself would love to see. Put yourself in your receiver's shoes and give it a thought. It doesn't take much to give it a thought and see what kind of templates are you going to like. So here are a couple of tips that I would like to share for this is keep your template crisp and relevant. Don't unnecessarily add colors and don't unnecessarily just make it jazzy just because you're sending out promotional emails. Keep it crisp and relevant. Have precise content. Don't unnecessarily make it lengthy so that you want to try to explain what exactly do you want to tell in your email. Remember, this is email. This is professional email that you are sending. This is the email that is to promote your products, your services, your content. So keep your content precise, short and sweet. Use proper usage, make proper usage of images. I'm not saying completely eliminate images or make the templates only out of images. It should be a proper percentage of images that are used. Also remember one important thing, that use these images with proper alt text. Just in case if people are not able to see the images, at least they'll be able to read the text that is behind the images. So make proper use of images. You would see some of my emails that come through. I generally try to use relevant images, or rather not use any images. So make the most out of this, because I know we all agree that pictures speak much better than the words, speak more than the words. So make proper use of images. Call to actions. This is the reason we are sending the emails basically. Call to action is the reason why these emails have been sent out. This is the place where your receivers are going to respond. So have these call to action buttons placed wisely. Just don't put it everywhere, wherever you want to put it. Everywhere you just go and say register, 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 people will just get irritated and they'll just switch off your email and move on. So make the proper use of call to actions, use them wisely, have them placed at the correct places and tactfully. Responsive. We've been talking, hearing a lot about responsiveness. We all know that people nowadays are opening your emails, accessing the emails in whatever devices possible. It could be handheld devices, it could be your computers, it could be desktops, it could be anything. So remember, you have to create templates that are responsive, that are accessible and readable on no matter whatever devices your receivers are going to use. So make sure all your templates nowadays are responsive. In fact, Google has come up with the algorithm for your website also. It has to be responsive to get better Google ranking. Let's move to another important aspect of the contributors to the email success. It's email settings. You've done with the subject line, you've done with the content, you have the database, you have your email template also ready. Next, most important thing that you do is sending out emails, setting emails in your email service provider's dashboard. So there are a couple of things that are really very important for email setting. I've taken a snapshot of one of the emails that I have recently sent. So you can see that the subject line has been set. So you have to pay attention to the subject line setting when you are setting up the campaign in any emails service provider or the product. Then there's the from address. In this, you will see there are two components in this. One is the name and the other is the email address. So Juvlon earmark is the name and earmark at juvlon.com is the email address. You know what, when I was just trying to have these kind of content, this content in place for this webinar, I just had this thought that I might not open any email that has the from address as probably instead of Juvlon earmark. What if somebody receives an email with the name earmark at juvlon.com? I probably might not open it, and I'm sure others might also not do it. So you should give it a thought that what should be the name that you should be carrying and the email ID that you are going to replace it with. So give it a thought. It doesn't take much time, but it has to be a very thoughtful action that needs to be taken. Second part that you can see below that is add a different reply email. Just in case I do not want to overboard my this email ID earmark at juvlon.com by people responding to it. I can add another email ID. I can add my email ID over there so that whenever people are replying, it comes to me rather than I overboarding this email that I have with me. So do set this also properly. It's one of the very important factor component that from ID and reply ID should be set correctly. The other important part is the pre-header. I have recently written a blog on pre-headers, the importance of pre-headers, and we are having a very good discussion on LinkedIn. It's really catching up a good traction on what exactly are pre-headers, and people are becoming aware of these pre-header concept now. The time that you spent in crafting subject lines, equal amount of time should be spent on pre-headers. Pre-headers is something that we see even before opening the emails. It's a preview of the content that we have written in the email. So as good as the subject line, pre-headers also play very important role in your open rates. So see to it that you spend good amount of time in crafting and drafting these pre-headers. Let's move to the next most important, I'll say the vital contributor of successful email campaign, and they are your email service providers. So I know when we start email marketing, we generally try to evaluate lots of email service providers. There are a couple of players in this, and we all are evaluating each one of them. But at one point we feel that, okay, can I have a checklist or a guideline of what should I look at when I'm evaluating these email service providers? So just to make our life easy, I've just placed them in this deck. Probably there are lots of other factors, but these are something which are really very important and should be considered. No, the IP address from which an email is sent, I believe it is like a phone number. It indicates the origin of an email. So be sure that your email service provider is able to provide you with the proper email address, IP addresses, sorry. So that's really very important. The email service provider should offer a variety of user-friendly reports. The reports will come to this part a little bit later in this webinar itself, that what kind of reports should every email service provider be able to provide you with. It could be deliverability, success, it has to have open rates and click-throughs and many other components to be considered in this. So you should decide that whether the service providers that you are evaluating, do they have good reporting options available or not. Your email service provider should require customers to comply with CAN-SPAM Act and make sure it is easy to do. It's not something that is really very difficult. In fact, I am thinking of having a separate webinar on CAN-SPAM compliance for email marketing. I'll notify everyone once we have this webinar scheduled. We have seen the importance of list segmentation. So your ESP, for that matter, is email service provider, should enable you to segment list. It could be demographic or it could be any other criteria, anything that you think is really important for you. So targeting subsets of your list with content relevant to them leads to more successful email marketing campaigns. We've already seen this, how email segmentation helps. Okay, next part is A/B testing. It is really important to have the ability to test different versions of your email. It could be subject line, it could be content, it could be templates, it could be anything that revolves around your email marketing. So A/B testing is a must. Your email service provider should be able to provide you this functionality. It's basically, it's like, this involves in randomly splitting up the list and comparing the results. So there are, it's divided into two parts, and one part starts receiving the better result. The other audience, other component is also moved on to that better result. So it's A/B testing is something that definitely every email service provider should have. At least whenever you are selecting, they should have the email service A/B testing functionality. Free trial, yes, most of the email service providers offer a free trial, so I'll suggest go and test drive it. Go ahead, check if it is really meeting your needs. Do not hesitate in signing up. Don't worry about the follow-ups. That's the part of every business and product. So please go ahead, take free trial. In fact, I'll suggest if you have not tried Juvlon, go ahead and take a Juvlon free trial. It's a 30-day free trial. There's no credit card required, so no obligations. Service plans. Every email service provider, they basically host your email list on their servers. So the charges differ. It could be monthly fees based on the number of emails on your list, or it could be the monthly fee based on the number of emails that you might be sending out. So be sure to choose a pricing structure that fits your needs. Check with the pricing pricing plan is what you are actually looking for. Next, very important is that your email service provider should be able to provide both online and phone customer support and training. Now, this comes into picture. Say, for example, you have a big marketing team with you, and you have marketing executives who are dealing with sending out bulk emails. Their role is to upload the emails and schedule it, check the reports, and share it with you. And you might not get that much bandwidth or time to train them on this specific product that you're using. If the email service provider whom you have signed up with, you have contracted with, if they have this kind of a customer support and training provided, I think nothing like it. It's going to save a hell lot of your time. So make sure that email service provider have good customer support and training. And as I have said, it should be both online and on phone. Make sure your email service provider has multiple high-speed connections to the internet through more than one source and hardware redundancy. I mean, I'm sure this will definitely help us, or this ensures the reliability that if one internet connection fails, there is other hardware also to support it. So ask your prospective email service provider about their infrastructure. Don't shy away from asking this. Your email service provider should have the robust infrastructure. And the last most important thing for making your email campaign successful is testing strategies. You should create a testing plan. It can be your subject line, it could be your email content, it could be call to actions, as we have said. It could be day and time when you receive the optimum results. And I'm sure these kind of testing strategies, these strategies will keep on varying from time to time. It could vary from campaign to campaign, but make sure you have testing strategies and you implement that. Now we'll move to the next sector. It's about measuring email success. We've seen how why email marketing is, what is email marketing, why important, what are the important contributors in this email marketing campaigns, and why they are important. Now you've sent out your email campaigns, and everyone wants to know how successful it was. Let's see some of the components that are useful to measure the email success. Components to consider, this is these are the metrics that you should be considering when I say my email marketing campaign is successful. When do I see that? The delivery rate. Do I get any hard bounces? What are the number of hard bounces that I have received? Do I need to remove those email IDs from there? Soft bounces, that is people, the email is still yet to reach that email address, and the email service provider will still keep on trying. So soft bounce rate is also very important. Open rate, click-through rates, definitely these are the mandatory components to be considered. Unsubscribe rate, how many people have unsubscribed from your email campaigns. Next two factors are for the return on investment, so cost per visit and cost per conversion. So how exactly monetarily has this email campaign benefited you? And the budget versus spend. So what was your budget and how much have you spent, and how could you best utilize your email marketing campaign? I've just added one screenshot of the reports that you can get from, some of the reports that you can get from Juvlon. So as you can see on the left hand side, there are lots of options that are available. So overview, opens, clicks, referrals, these are in case if you have a button which says that share with your friend and somebody fills in the email ID to whom they are sending, it gets collected over here. Bounces of all the types, opt-outs if there are any, domain-wise, day and time-wise. We have just seen in our earlier slide that how day-wise and time-wise report is really important. So it really helps you in having your testing plan in place, comparative report, and many other reports. There are lots of other reports that are available in Juvlon. So we've seen the how exactly can we measure the email marketing success. The next part is do's and don'ts. There are lots of do's and don'ts of email marketing, but I've just collected some important factors in this. So I'll just quickly go through it. It's basically, I've just, it's quite visible over here, but I'll just go through it one by one and try to elaborate a little bit on each point. Unsubscribe link. We all know that if we go back few years ago, wherever we used to receive any email campaign, there was a line that used to be mentioned. If you want to unsubscribe, reply to us without a subject line and we'll unsubscribe. I mean, that really was some effort that I had to take. Okay, I have to send an email to this person, so 2 clicks to do. Instead, now we have come up with everyone. I mean, each and every email subscriber has, email service provider has come up with a link which says that, okay, here's a link to unsubscribe. And most of these links are available at the footer of your email. So it has, see to it that it's easy for your receivers to find unsubscribe link. At the same time, try to avoid the HTMLs or JavaScript or probably the videos or flash files in your emails. This probably might not be supported on each and every receiver's end. So see to it that you are not including such kind of programming in your emails. Set expectations and meet them. We've seen that whatever is there in your subject line comes in your content. Keep it short and sweet. Do not send any irrelevant content. We've been saying this, and I'll keep on insisting that invest time in crafting catchy subject lines. At the same time, do not ignore pre-headers. I've seen that there are lots of questions that have come in my question box about pre-headers. I'll take them one by one. Pay attention to your email design. At the same time, do not make it long emails. Remember, it's a professional email communication that you are making. Do not send long emails. Send follow-up emails. We all try to set one after the other triggered emails. So you have to have your program in place about triggered emails. We've spoken about this in earlier webinars also. There are lots of articles available on Juvlon blog for setting up the triggered emails or the benefits of triggered emails. That is send follow-up emails. At the same time, do not forget welcome emails. That is someone when they sign up with your program, welcome them happily. Welcome them with open arms. Segment your list. We've seen the importance of how segmentation helps you. At the same time, do not ignore the reports. We've seen the kind of reports that we need to have a look at when we are considering success of email marketing. Maintain the email frequency. Just don't keep on. When we say this point that send the follow-up emails and you should have the triggered email program in place, keep it in mind that it's not that you have to keep on sending it every now and then. You have to test the email frequency. You have to test what kind of frequency is suiting your audience, larger audience. What are they appreciating? At the same time, let's not ignore the spam laws. As I've said, and we might be conducting one special webinar on can spam laws and how we can take care of it. So these are just a couple of do's and don'ts of email marketing. Friends, with this, I'm opening this section for the questions. In case if I'm not able to attend all your questions, please note my email address. You can write to me at smita.more@nishlife.com, or you can also drop me a line at marketing@juvlon.com. I'll be definitely attending those questions from there. Let me take some questions one by one from you. How to avoid email going into prospects junk. Also, how to track that email is gone in prospects junk. That's really very difficult to track that, to understand whether the email has gone into junk or not. But to avoid that, there are lots of aspects. It depends on the domain that you are sending from, the content that you are sending, whether the subscriber is aware that he or she is going to receive your email or not. So remember, Priyanka, that you have to keep track of all these aspects when you're sending the emails. About the responsiveness, Shregarg, it's basically, we all know that people are accessing emails from all the devices. So when we say that you have to have your email templates responsive, it's basically they have to be mobile friendly. They have to be all device friendly. You should be able to view and read the emails correctly on all the devices. Gautam, I think I have tried to attend your question, how to ensure inbox delivery and not spam. Why mail goes in promotional tab? Neha, that is Gmail's or Google's algorithm that they have set. It's basically each and every email that is checked, and based on that, they decide whether this goes in promotional tab or in the inbox. But as I've said in my earlier emails, please remember, don't worry if it goes in promotional tab or lands in your inbox. People, even though if it's in promotional tab, they are going to read your emails. Maurya, yes, definitely. We have a couple of examples for catchy subject lines. I'll definitely share the link to our blog that talks about these examples. Okay, Rajat has a question. Does it work better if you aim to draw the recipients to a website by sharing a link on your email with a subject line and pre-header rather than a lots of content? Rajat, I'll suggest that rather than sharing a link in the subject line, pre-header would be better because that's the part of their email content. But definitely, I mean, if you can just write a line or two in your content, it's definitely, and if the content is really good, your website, your product that you are serving is interesting to your audience, they'll definitely visit your website. So make use of links in pre-headers, but not in subject lines. Sending text mails with attachment, whether they work? Yes, Safiq, it definitely works unless and until these attachments are something that are really very important and relevant to the content that you are sending. So make sure that whatever attachments you are sending are relevant to the promotional emails that are being sent out. Yes, Aishwarya, I'll definitely share more examples of pre-header. In fact, you can visit juvlon.com/blog and you'll find my blog about pre-headers. It's just the recent blog that I have written, and you'll find the examples in that blog. I'll share the link of that in my follow-up emails. How to go about multi-product email campaigns through a single email. Anubhav, basically, if your audience or the subscriber base that you have, if they are aware and if they are interested about different range of products that you're offering, yes, you can still go ahead and make use of one single email to send out information or offers about your multiple products. But I'll definitely suggest that if you can segment your list and make it separate for each product, that is going to give you much better result than sending out one email having information about too many products. Should a subject line contain discount or should it generally be without the offer? That depends, Vinny. It's definitely something that you will have to test and you'll have to measure it for your audience. Sometimes having these kind of content of discounts or offer definitely helps in giving better open rates. So I'll suggest that depending on your audience and the product or the service that you are offering, you might have to test that and measure about any such kind of subject lines whether it works. Most of the times it does work, but at least for once. If you, as I've said, don't overuse the phrases, don't overuse those kind of emails again and again. So be sure, use it wisely. There's no harm in using these kind of words in your subject lines. Does text on image have adverse effect? Does text on image, I'm not sure, Rakesh, what exactly do you mean by that? But image with alt text definitely is beneficial. I mean, if you are having an image and you have a text on that, obviously it's not readable, right? I mean, it definitely will have adverse effect. But instead, if you have smaller images, relevant images, and you can have them in the alt text, that's going to be helpful. Jignesh, my views on emoji in subject line. Again, these are, let me repeat, these emails that you are sending through email marketing are promotional emails. Emoji icons, most of the times we do use during our personal communication. So make sure you are having that kind of an audience who doesn't mind sending out emoji icons. For my purpose, I'll say no. But I don't know what kind of business you are running. It might suit your business for that matter. Anubha, I'm sorry I didn't get your question. I'll go to Komal's question. It says that how effective are personalized emails? That definitely is very effective, Komal. We have had a special webinar based where we spoke about personalization in emails. And personalization doesn't mean that you have to have only the names of your receivers. It could be any kind of personalization. It could be your birth dates. It could be the date of expiry of your subscription or the product that you have. It could be any kind of personalization for that matter, and it definitely is very effective. You can go ahead and check our webinar on juvlon.com webinars where we have mentioned about have had a special webinar on personalization. Apurva, your question is very specific. I will take it over offline. Friends, I think we are almost done with this session. There are lots of questions that are coming. I'll be taking most of these questions will be taken offline as we do not have that much time bandwidth for now. With this, I'll end today's session. I hope you all have enjoyed today's session. and you all have a good day. Thank you so much.